Inland Church, herein represented by the Diaspora Bishop Mairori, members of the Board of Trustees, members of the University Senate and Management faculty and staff, our Bishop, AIC Presiding Bishop Emeritus, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. It is a great honor and privilege to join the Scott Christian University fraternity on this important occasion of the 61st graduation ceremony. I convey warm greetings from His Excellency the President and the best wishes from His Excellency Professor Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, who was actually the one invited to speak in this occasion and whom I have the honor to represent because he would not make to be here this time round. I sincerely thank the University Council, management, faculty, and the entire Scott Christian University fraternity for inviting His Excellency the Deputy President to participate in this important celebration. However, owing to his conflicting engagements, he will not be joining us today. I commend the university for this continued contribution to the development of human capital and the advancement of education in our country. Mr. Vice Chancellor and the Chair of Council and the team, for me to be here is I consider it very historic. As a child growing up in this church, in the African Inland Church, I always heard about Scott Theological College. What was very important in Scott Theological College, that is before it became the university, is that it was the premier institution for the African Inland Church. And so during the camps, the youth camps, if you are lucky to have a pastor who had come from Scott Theological College, you would see even the other pastors were handling that pastor with a lot of care and a lot of appreciation. And so I always wanted in my life as an AIC member, I dreamed as a child that one day I must see where this Scott Theological College is. And so this today is a fulfillment of my childhood dream to be here. And so I consider myself very lucky. But I must say, Mr. Vice Chancellor, that when I entered the gate, this is not the school I dreamed of. I was welcomed by dust. And when we reached the end of the driveway, ready to be received to the Vice Chancellor office, I thought we were lost. So I asked my driver, have you really come to the right place? So you have a very huge reputation and a very big name. You are carrying the big name of Peter Scott Cameroon. However, mambo kwa ground ni tofauti. But also let me say something else, that this is not just something I wondered about. This is something I heard the president when he came back telling us when we met him after being in the graduation here. And so we are truly challenged as AIC members who are in leadership to walk with you the journey to transform this institution so that the face of the university matches the reputation of the institution. But also sitting here, I learned something, that it is not the buildings, it is not the structures, it's not the face of the institution that matters. It's actually the content of the of the students that graduate from here. And so if you look at someone like Professor Kibor, for example, I remember him, he came and preached to us. I think he had just finished his PhD. So he came and preached to us in a camp back home there, a place called Sambirir. He came with a lot of fire. So, and he transformed many lives. There are many pastors I know that have changed many lives. There are many leaders of the church that have made a great difference. Particularly, we have our own presiding Bishop Emeritus, among others. So really, while we are mourning and crying that the facilities are not too good, I am sure Bishop Yego, given a chance, is wondering what is the problem. Because that was the best of the best that he got in his time, and he made the best of it, and then came and transformed the rest of our country and the church. And therefore, it is important for the students who are sitting here to remember that you are the face of this institution. You carry a huge legacy of this institution that has grown from being a theological college to now a Christian university. I commend the university for its continued contribution to the development of human capital and the advancement of education in our country. To the graduates, congratulations. You have every reason to celebrate. To celebrate your hard work, perseverance, discipline, sacrifice, and determination, and the journey of hope. As you do so, also allow me to acknowledge the contribution of your parents, guardians, lecturers, mentors, and all those who supported you throughout your academic journey. The achievement we celebrate today is also a reflection of their selfless sacrifice, support, and belief in you. I was truly surprised, Dr. Nyangala, that you said you left school 32 years ago. You don't look like it. So I was also seated like them, graduating. And now that you've said yours, I'm very embarrassed to say mine, but I'll say so, that 22 years ago, I left the graduation square like them. And I feel their happiness, their joy, their excitement with the conclusion of this phase of life, having gone through different struggles, sometimes missing marks. I don't think in a Christian university is missing marks, but where I was, they were missing marks. Sometimes complicated research papers, sometimes disagreeing with your lecturers because you have a different view of your research paper than he has, and so forth. And having got to go through, but more importantly, some came here and they had to face various challenges. Some people had family problems, family members, some even lost their loved ones, and still went through the journey to graduate. So there is a lot of joy when it comes to a graduation day because it's a completion of a phase of life. You've gone through difficult times. And I want to tell you, do not be discouraged. No one should really tell you that there is no hope out there. When I left school 22 years ago, I was the CU chair. So one of the things that I did, there was a sermon that I preached to the for those of us who are in Form 4. And I remember only one sentence from one paragraph of that was to tell them that, you see, when the children of Israel were going to Egypt, from Egypt going to Canaan, the truth is that all the spies who had gone ahead of them to Canaan, they came back with reports. 10 of them came with reports, and 2 of them also came with reports. But the reality is that all of them had true reports. There was no fake report. Even the 10 guys who came with report, they looked very truthful. They even called themselves truthful men because what they saw is exactly what they saw. You see, they saw giants, they saw Nephilims, they saw very difficult people, they saw a very complicated environment. Even Joshua and Caleb saw the same. The difference is that in their seeing, the lenses were different. Yeah, you know, the 10 of them, when they were looking at out there, they looked at the giants and they said they are great people. They are powerful people. They are occupying positions. They are occupying the land. But their perspective was different. They still saw it and said, even then, we will conquer. You know, and the other two, that is actually exactly what Joshua and Caleb saw. But the 10 saw it and said, we will not make it. They were hopeless and so forth. I am telling you, if you watch the news today, if you listen to naysayers out there, they will give you a lot of stories about Kenya, how Kenya is hopeless, how the future of Kenya is hopeless, how there is nothing happening in Kenya, how there is no opportunities in Kenya. It's up to you to decide whether you will be the 10 spies or you will be Joshua and Caleb. Because if you don't change your perspective, you will go out here hopelessly. And actually, truly, you will never get an opportunity because your mindset and your perspective is polluted by the messages you get by the prophets of doom who see nothing good about our country. So today, it is up to you. It's your choice. When I left school, there were great lawyers in Kenya. There were ministers. There were senators. There were big people. I didn't occupy Senate because it was empty. I didn't become a cabinet secretary because of an empty office. I did not become a lecturer in the university, which I did because it was empty. I did not become a legal practitioner because legal practice did have empty spaces waiting for me to occupy. No, it's because giants were here in these offices we occupy, but we displaced the giants and occupied those offices. So it is the perspective you have when you leave this graduation square. And I want to encourage you, always look for the positive news. Always look for the, how did you make it? Always listen to the people who have conquered. Don't listen to those who failed. Indeed, in my life, I struggle reading other books except biographies. I only read biographies and autobiographies to see how did these people make it? How did they succeed? How did they become who they became? So that I pump my head with a lot of stories of success. But if all the time I listen to haiwezekani hapo, hata ukianza biashara itaanguka, taxes ni mingi, hata lazima ulipe bribe ndio upate nafasi, hata sijui nini, utapotea. Utaona kwamba utakuwa unakaa nyumbani. And let me emphasize that point because I have campaigned. And when I used to go to different places in my county where I was a senator, you go to a place and you find a young person where people saying, kuna hawa vijana wako hapa hawana kazi, waziri senator ukipata nafasi enda waandika hawa kazi. Oh, sasa wewe ulisomea nini? Oh, nilisomea subject fulani, business nini? Umekuwa hapa nyumbani miaka ngapi? Hata nilisomea agriculture. Na wewe umekuwa nyumbani bila kazi nini? Miaka 10. Na hiyo miaka 10 umekuwa ukifanya nini? Nimekuwa nikikaa tu. Okay, na ile shamba yenu ya nyumbani umeweza kulima? Nalima kidogo kidogo lakini haifiki mahali. Hii masomo yako ya agriculture umewahi tumia kwa hii shamba yenu? Niko tu nangojea kazi. But I have also been a senator and go to village where when you meet, people tell you, you get a very young, sharp person. He's telling you, nilisomea engineering, lakini bado sijapata kazi, lakini unajua I am volunteering doing this, I'm doing this, and doing this. And when you stand in a baraza, wananchi will tell you, mkipata nafasi, enda na huyo. Hata kama ni shamba yako, atakusaidia utapona, enda na huyo. So there is a difference between a person who has a positive perspective about life and the person who consumes messages and negative messages in the entire of their life. Let me finally emphasize that point. It is your choice also to watch news or to not to. I rarely watch news because there are people whom they appear on television, you just know they're about to say negative things. Yeah? Yet there are so many channels you are paid for. Better just go to another channel and watch. If you think Murkomen, when he appears in the news, He's always talking about negative things about country. There is no hope. There is no message. There is no whatever. Why do you still continue watching me? You know, you better watch another person who is giving you content and things that are positive that are happening in your country. And that is exactly, but if you continue convoluting yourself with messages that are negative, I am telling you, the Bible says faith comes from hearing, and hearing the word of God. It doesn't say faith comes from hearing and hearing anything that happens out there. So if you want to have hope in life, you must hear the positive message that is out there. It looks like, what I'm telling you looks like stories, but I'm telling you the truth. I am telling you the truth. There will be days after this graduation, you wake up in the morning and you don't know where you are going. You don't have exact job. You drop CVs in different places. But if you keep doing and listening and talking to people who are positive, asking them, how did you go about this? Which other opportunities are there? Searching opportunities and doing so, you will succeed. And that's why it's important for you to never give up. Wake up the next morning thinking positively, the next day thinking positively until your opportunity is opened out there. Don't become a person who is whining and complaining. Graduation is not the end of education, as has been said. Rather, it marks the beginning of a greater responsibility in serving the nation, bringing on board human capital that our nation needs. Advancement in technology, including artificial intelligence, keeps on redefining how our society works, communicate, conduct business, undertake its research, as well as how government deliver its services. As such, new technology advancements call for new technology-driven solutions to the problems in our environs. I therefore encourage the graduates to focus on problem solving and value creation through the opportunities created by advancement in technology through contributing to betterment of our nation. Nobody captured that than Bishop Mairori, that you must always continue sharpening your axe. You better spend 1 week sharpening the axe so that you cut the tree in 1 day. Our country continues to confront challenges in job creation, entrepreneurship, the cost of doing business, healthcare, education, agriculture, technology, infrastructure, environmental sustainability, and public service delivery. Yet these challenges also present enormous opportunities for innovation, enterprise, and leadership. Bishop also told us when Joseph saw a drought as a challenge, and everybody knew that drought is a challenge, he didn't waste time, in diagnosis. Diagnosis is important to know what the challenge, but he also presented a solution. He told the Pharaoh that he needs to build the silos and start storing grains for future consumption. Ladies and gentlemen, academic qualification remain important, but qualification alone are no longer sufficient. The modern economy requires graduates who can translate knowledge into practical solutions. I therefore commend the university for expanding its academic programs and strengthening practical skills development. I am particularly pleased to learn that the university has established a fully registered technical and vocational education and training institute, which has already enrolled students. This complements the government's agenda of transformation of the informal economy through skills development, certification, and recognition. A nation cannot develop without technicians, artisans, engineers, innovators, entrepreneurs, ICT specialists, builders, agricultural experts, health workers, and other skilled professionals. And if you saw the presentation of Professor Hino during the launch of Beyond 2030 project, you saw how he emphasized the importance of education as a driver towards moving Kenya into first world country. Dear graduates, as you mark this important milestone, I encourage you to become ambassadors of hope, peace, unity, integrity, and responsible citizenship. Kenya needs a generation that believes in the power of peaceful coexistence, the rule of law, and the strength of our national institutions. as the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, I am acutely aware that a peaceful and secure Kenya cannot be built by government alone. Every citizen has a role to play. Therefore, as you leave this institution, reject the temptation to be drawn into division, violence, chaos, and anarchy. Reject anything that undermines our peace, destroys our infrastructure, or weakens our faith in the institutions that hold our nation together. Your education has equipped you not only with knowledge, but also with the responsibility to use knowledge for the good of our society. Take with you the hope, optimism, and the sense of purpose that we see here today. Carry that spirit into your communities, your workplaces, and wherever your journey takes you. Let your education become a force for building a more peaceful, prosperous, and united Kenya. Let me tell you this. We inherited a country from our forefathers and mothers because they worked together as a nation. Jomo Kenyatta, Paul Ngei, Oginga Odinga, and many others who were in the independent days. And they worked together to liberate our country. What is this thing about my community, my tribe? What is this certain madness of my people in a certain corner? What is this obsession with tribalism, with my person this, my shares this one, my shares this other one? Honestly, as a Christian university, here I believe you got the right values. The Bible in the book of Revelations talks about John the Baptist having seen in heaven people of different races, different denominations, different tribes living together, singing Hosanna, hallelujah. How then shall we say that we are a Christian country? We are a country that is governed by Christians. But every day we talk about my tribe, my community, my region, even in our churches, even in our schools, even in our universities, even in student leadership in universities today. There is a great shame that students mobilize themselves into leadership and campaign along this tribe, a coalition of this tribe against this other tribe. Just the other day when I was in school, I was elected as student leader when people who were Kalenjins in the college were less than 10. I wonder how we missed the direction that students now think about them being student leaders can only come if a coalition of tribes is going to be forged within schools and universities. Please, let's go back, like the Bible says, let's go back to our first love. Let's look for our foundation. Let's compete. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with elections. There's nothing wrong with competition. But this competition that is founded on lies, that is founded on making the country look like it's a useless place, that for you to rise to leadership, you must talk about negative things about your country. You must tell investors, don't come to Kenya. You must propagate propaganda against the peace of our nation. Yet, how are you able to move around the country doing your campaigns and asking for votes and still want to say that Kenya is not safe? It's not a good place for people to come and invest. How shall we employ our students? That level of politics, the hygiene in our politics is lacking. And we have to do something to make sure that we restore the right leadership in the country, the perspective of leadership in the country, the campaigns in our nation. No matter whether someone is in opposition or is in the government, they must speak hope and opportunities in our country. We are competing with Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. I know that. And he's a member of this church. But I must give him a lot of credit that over the many years he has lived in the opposition, he has tried so much to remain national in his conversation and in his presentations. I wish the other opposition leaders would learn from Kalonzo Musyoka. Yeah? If for nothing else, he has tried to maintain his conversation to be national. He may have other challenges, but that is not one of them. And that's why I want to say, and maybe that is because of the foundation of AIC Church. I wish the other competitors would come to this church. Maybe they would learn something about nationalism, about having a national figure, speaking about the country as one united nation. I really pity the kind of politics I see now, where tribalism is being glorified and division is being glorified against the unity of our country. Scott Christian University was founded on Christian values and principles. I encourage you as an alumni of this institution to remain anchored in these values. Let the ethical leadership, integrity, compassion, innovative mindset, and commitment to community transformation cultivated here guide you, your decisions, and your everyday endeavors. I encourage the university to continue expanding its academic programs, strengthen research, embracing technology, invest in infrastructure, build strategic partnerships, and produce graduates who can compete and serve effectively in Kenya, Africa, and the global community. Scott should be having at least 2,000 students graduating every year, yeah, and so forth and so forth. And we can grow rapidly if we expand also our horizon, because this university needs to provide solution to many young people who need an education with Christian values. I encourage the university, as a government, we are investing in skills and human capital that will drive Kenya transformation. In just 3 years, we have recruited more than 100,000 teachers, delivered 23,000 classrooms, and are constructing 1,600 laboratories to support competence-based education. TVET enrollment has more than doubled to 718,000, giving hundreds of thousands of young Kenyans access to practical, industry-relevant skills. We are also reforming higher education financing, having introduced the student-centered, needs-based model. We are now moving towards universal government funding so that every qualified student admitted to a university or college can pursue higher education regardless of their family financial circumstances. This is our commitment that no Kenyan child should be denied opportunity because of the circumstance into which they were born. The Ministry of Interior and National Administration is in collaboration with the university and college administrations across the country through the local Ngao officers, security organs, and NACADA to combat cases of drugs and substance abuse, gender-based violence, and security of the students who are living in and off campus. I conclude with a simple challenge. Do not wait for Kenya to become the country you want. Become the generation that builds the Kenya you want. Take the lead. Kesizana. Class of 26, congratulations once again. And may wisdom, courage, and humility and integrity be a guiding roadmap in your way to success. May God bless this great Christian university. May God bless the class of 2026. And may God bless the Republic of Kenya. And before I sit, let me just also say that since I have come, I have also realized that this graduating class is not too big. So I can also do something. Yeah. Naweza weka mawe, si ndio? Si namna hiyo. So, Bwana Vice Chancellor, I will leave you with 1 million shillings for their. Yeah.
You know who it is.
Them and their teachers to celebrate this great milestone. Number 2, I have been challenged. Yeah, I have been challenged. And so who is the student leader of the graduating class? Is it Goro? Anaitwa nani? Yeah. No, just wait. I will call you. Just come here. Just come here. Yeah. Okay. Number two, I want to say that I have been challenged also to take up the responsibility of being part and parcel of those who will contribute to the support, the mega Arambe that is coming. I think Bishop Mairori earlier yesterday sent me the letter of invitation, and I will be joining you towards the supporting the programs and projects of this school during that very important fundraiser. I know that His Excellency the President promised the infrastructure, including the roads. I am also promising here that I will follow up the same to ensure that this compound looks different next time I come, and so that when I bring other villagers, you know, the AIC members in Marsabit, when they come to Scott here, they can see the university is a serious university. Thank you very much. You know, so we want to be part and parcel. I want to join His Excellency the President and the other AIC members who have been blessed to find ways of supporting the growth of this university. The last thing I'd like to say is that our country is going to elections next year. So as you go home, please remember that elections will come and go. One of the things that the President said, which is profound this week, is that beyond 2030 vision cannot wait for elections, because no matter who is elected, the country must have a guiding star, a vision that helps us, enable us to dream big as a country. And even as we go to that elections, I want to encourage you, parents who are here, students, and all of us who are Kenyans, that let us support leaders who are engaging in peaceful elections, who are not hiring goons, who are not dealing with violence, who are not dividing the country along sectarian and tribal interests. Let us elect MCAs, senators, governors, MPs, and the president, because we are all thinking about the unity of our country. Any person you vote for presidency, or you vote for any other seat, vote for a person who is thinking about the unity of our country. That is extremely important. It is not easy to keep a country together. And as a ministry, our duty is to make sure that our country is safe. People will campaign everywhere, regardless of their political affiliations. I know some of my friends or former friends have been insulting me left, right, and center. But that does not mean that it's still my responsibility to ensure that their functions are safe and their meetings are very safe, because Kenyans deserve services not based on their person they are competing with or they are supporting in politically. And therefore, I want to ask all these elected politicians and those who are aspiring, even as they campaign this weekend in Homa Bay, in Nakuru, in other places, please make sure that when you go to your meeting, go peacefully. When a person has their meeting, allow them to do their meeting and finish and go. You come and do your meeting another day. Because there's no need to, if you do not have subscribed to a policy of one politician, why are you going to their meeting? And why are you organizing people to disrupt? Why don't you organize yours another day, so that Kenya can become peaceful? Someone sells their agenda, you go home. Another one sells his agenda, he goes home. And I want to assure you that we will deal with all those people who are mobilizing goons and violent people to come and disrupt meetings. The National Police Service is well instructed to make sure that meetings continue being peaceful, so that Kenyans can campaign in an environment that is peaceful. Lastly, I want to also encourage leaders who are aspiring to office. When you are selling your manifesto, also tell us what you did when you were in office. Don't also ask those who are office alone. Also put your CV on the table. You know, don't tell us, oh, you know, the president has not achieved this and that, and you worked with the president for 2 years. Can you tell us in those 2 years you worked together, what did you achieve together with the president? Then the balance of 2 years, we will know what to do. We will explain to you what we did for those 2 years. So it is important that we don't allow politicians to go scot-free. I will accept someone who has come who is new, who has never held office. But anybody who has sat in office, you start with your CV. Nasema siku hii nilifanya hii, siku hii nilifanya hii, siku hii nilifanya hii, na nikipewa nafasi nitafanya hii. Lakini usikae kama mtu hujawahi kanyaka ofisi, unajifanya wewe ni sasa mtu mzuri sana mwenye hujawahi kanyaka ofisi. It's important that we hold politicians into account for everything they do, because even the Bible says when we go to heaven, we will be held into account for every talent that God gave us. And that is the direction we want to go as a nation. So, ule jamaa wangu wa hapa, leta hiyo sasa. Wapi hiyo student leader?
The conqueror, the champion, the lion is here.
Wewe unajua kupanga watu? Hao. Wewe unajua kupanga, ulipanga wapi na hujawa campaign?
You know.
So this is 1 million shillings to make sure that. Sawa. All the best and may God bless you. Asante sana.
Tutawapanga tu, msijali. Relax. Tutawapanga, msijali. Tutapanga tu, msijali. It's very risky for hii kikapu kukuja upande huo, lakini iko safe upande huu. So at this time, allow me now to call the DVC, Professor Daniel Barante, for the presentation of candidates. Professor Daniel Barante for the presentation of candidates.
Thank you so much. Our chief guest, CS Murkomen, PS, Dr. Inyangala, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has come. The moment we have all been waiting for. Our chief guest, I have observed that our sugar levels have gone down a bit. I want to request that we all stand for 1 minute, and DJ will give us a small number as we celebrate what CS Murukomen has done to our students, right? Yes, DJ. Let's stretch our legs, let's stretch our hands.
Kitazama nilikotoka hapa nilipo ninapokwenda ninagundua yekuwa ni nguvu zangu ningeshachoka nisingeweza. Sio kweli kwamba tukuhaso na kupambana ndo vimenitoa. Shuhudi haizidi kudra, siwezi sema babu wa kujituma. Niliitwa ndugu lawama. Thank
you. As I said, this is the moment we have been waiting for. In the interest of time, we are going to do this very fast. And it is therefore my honor and a privilege to present to you candidates who have fulfilled all the requirements of the University Senate and are hereby recommended for the conferment of their respective degrees and award of diplomas and certificates. This is the order we shall follow. As your name is read out, kindly stand and remain standing until the last name in your particular program is read out. Then sit down, remain seated until all the names in your level are read out. That is masters, bachelors, diplomas, and certificates. I will then ask you to stand for the conferment by the Chancellor. You will then bow and take your seats, and I will request you to kindly remain quiet until the end of the ceremony. The order of presentation of candidates for the various conferment and awards is as follows: master's degree, bachelor's degree, diplomas, and certificates. I now call upon the deans of schools to present the candidates for the conferment of the master's degree of Scott Christian University in the following order: Dean, School of Theology and Social Sciences, Reverend Lumumba Wambua; Dean, School of Education and Business Studies, Dr. Charles Muli. Welcome, Dean.
Chancellor Sir, the following candidates have satisfied the School Board of Examiners, the Senate of Scott Christian University, for the conferment of the Master of Arts in Theology degree of Scott Christian University. Chebo Justin Kiprono. Kangwana Kennedy Mutuku. Lokala Philip Esignon. Loki Augustus Kivunge. Bithi Alice Mukonyo. Peter Georgina Waeni.
Chancellor Sir, the following candidates have satisfied the School Board of Examiners and the Senate of the Scott Christian University for the conferment of the Master of Business Administration, the Master of Arts in Leadership and Management, the Master of Education degree of Scott Christian University, Master of Business Administration, Strategic Management, Okwemba Belinda Nyagasi. Master of Business Administration, Project Management, Pakire Elizabeth Keneya. Master of Arts in Leadership and Management, Pabiano Okio John Kerim. Kapala Salama Joram. Maingi Ann Kanini. Master of Education, Education Administration and Management, Muli Gladys Kanini.
All candidates for the conferment of the master's degree, please stand. I now invite the Chancellor to confer the degree. Welcome, sir.
By the authority vested in me by the Charter and Statutes of Scott Christian University, I hereby confer upon you the master degree with all the privileges, rights, and responsibilities, and give you powers to read and to do all that appertains to this degree in the following disciplines: Master of Arts in Theology, Master of Business Administration, Master of Arts in Leadership and Management, Master of Education. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. You may now take your seats. I now call upon the deans of schools to present the candidates for the conferment of degrees of Scott Christian University in the following order: Dean, School of Theology and Social Sciences, Bachelor of Theology, Bachelor of Hospitality and Tourism Management, Bachelor of Arts in Community Development, Bachelor of Arts in Counseling Psychology, Dean, School of Education and Business Studies, Bachelor of Education Arts, Bachelor of Business Information Technology, Bachelor of Information Communication Technology, Bachelor of Leadership and Management. Welcome, Dean.
Chancellor Sir, the following candidates have satisfied the School Board of Examiners and the Senate of Scott Christian University for the conferment of the degree of Scott Christian University in the following disciplines: Bachelor of Theology, First Class Honors, Kimanzi Fred Mutua, Kimbui Joseph Chalo, Kimoni Augustus Muoki, Makau Meshak Mumo, Munyao Wilson Musau, Musili Jeremiah Mutie, Musioki Balak Ikovo, Mutegi Sharon Kawira, Mutulili Daniel Dambuki. Second class honors, upper division. Chemekuro Esmon Mtai, Golicha Guyo Roba, Joseph Esther Zambi, Kaloki Deborah Gena, Kamande James Nganga, Katumu Alfred Chalo, Kigoma Stone Kivucho, Kiprop James, Kwemboi Malik, Jengo James Kitavi, Lokai David Moru, Manding Emmanuel Ruto, Maluku Sarah Molu Alkano Bonaya, Mulwa John Maingi, Munyoke Jackson Safari, Muteti Joseph Kativa, Mutula Dennis Mutie, Mwambui Cecilia Chinyavu, Naum Serem Chemutai, Dambuki Julius Chalo, Deto Nicholas Moya, Ngwele Sami Musau, Zioka Ruth Gene, Zoka Stefano Kimeu, Oyugi Martin Othiambo, Walusala Lois Makoha. Second class honors, lower division. Recha Keronoi Japheth, Saitoti Kipintoi Meshach Olempiris, Bachelor of Hospitality and Tourism Management. First class honors, Muchiri Mase Waitherero, Omina Elizabeth, Rapemo Robert Odero. Second class honors, upper division, Injete Sharon, Kangwana Naomi Gaki, Okech Elisha Ongombe. Second class honors, lower division, Muriuki Samuel Githinchi, Bachelor of Arts in Community Development. Second class honors, upper division, Keroroi Amos, Batha Elizabeth Mutave, Mutuko Florence Zilani, Wanyonyi Abiud Kuta. Bachelor of Arts in Counseling Psychology. Second class honors, upper division, Anyango Rendemta, Mitigo Vivian Cherop, Mutua Lucy Duku, Mutuku Esther Wavinya. Second class honors, lower division, Ketesia Brian Munyao.
Chancellor, sir, the following candidates have satisfied the School Board of Examiners and the Senate of the Scott Christian University for the conferment of the degree of Scott Christian University in the following discipline: Bachelor of Education Arts, First Class Honors, Cheruto Masi, Kilonzo Ann Mwende, Kipsang Boniface Kemboi, Makao Jacinda Ngusye, Mudhoni Kawera Teresa, Ndamba Mwangangi Nzipora, Ocheng Esther Akinyi, Owino Peter, second class honors upper division, Akoth Priska Kenyatta, Arega Faith Mbone, Bor Faith Chepkemoi, Chelagat Faith, Chemutai Miriam, Chebleting Ida Seurei, Joseph Simon Muia, Joy Chepto, Kawirwa Masi, Katanu Evelyn Katanu, Katenge Justus Mutunga, Kawira Mureithi L. Prudence, Kiambati Kawira Caroline, Kimanga Arnold Momanyi, Kioko Jafeth Kidhusi, Kioko Juda Kasumbi, Kioko Veronica Kamante, Kisoi Angela Ndanu, Aengwe Sheila Bosbori, Mali Ellen Diti, Manya Bilali, Maruti Baraza Xavier, Matu Joy Mutanu, Muhimi Evans Kadanzu, Muli Masindanu, Mulwa Daniel Makao, Musembi Evans Mololo, Musembi Lucy Musenya, Mudhio Purity, Mutisia Winfred Mulwa, Mutua Brian Safari, Mutua Alice Kaleche, Mutuku Joel Dunda, Nasambi Costain Boya, Gumbao Ann Kaluki, Nikirote Maureen, Nyachama Nyaundi Oprah, Zilani Stephen Musyoka, Zomo Sami Kiditu, Ogida Ochuru Zabron, Okeyo Zedi Tyson, Obasa Emmanuel Onyonka, Ombui Caleb Amisi, Otieno Brian Wasonga, Ouma Mildred Adhiambo, Oyo Consley Luoch, Pascal Lach Caroline Nayaton, Rono Everson Kipkoech, Ruto Irene Chepngetich, Sikuku Martin, Sylvester Ntonche, Simiu Vivian Naliaka, Waeni Mutinda Jedida, Wangui Barangu Linet, Wanzam Beatrice Muya, Wawitima Beatrice Wangui, Wekulo Arison Sikuta, second class honors lower division, Bet Benson Kipkirui, Chepto Masi, Chepkemoi Scholar, Emmanuel Bastei Chebet, Tumaine Joyce Wangui, Kinywa Winnie Karimi, Kipko H. Vincent, Kiprotich Ruth Jepkoril, Kidome Simon Muo, Lemuya Timothy Akuku, Mumina Faith Mwende, Muoki Mule Fines, Musyoki Brian Zao, Mutua Dennis Mutiso, Mutua Judy Musavai, Mutune Kennedy Kidheka, Mwikali Mildred, Naliaka Lois Nakuminja, Nyakora Naftal, Zao Jen Kamene, Ojuka Paul Okeyo, Onduko Agnes Bochaberi, Lozalana Lavin Kemuma, Sapai Isaac Ndiema, Teskin Caleb Makuta, Wakulia Benson Wanyama, Pass, Kiprop Nixon, Bachelor of Business Information Technology, second class honors upper division, Kibogo Emmanuel Meshak, Kemboi Wilfred, Onyango Sanderson Opio, Bachelor of Information Communication Technology. First class honors, Wabobwa Collins Musumba. Second class honors, our division, Gideons Jordan Toada, Kyoko Juliet Sovita, Moipei Baby Soila, Muli Wycliffe Bidhi, Dinda Stacy Mweni, Okemba Morgan Ojwang, Oyola Evans Omondi, Tagus Winnie Cheprotich. Second class honors lower division, Kwambai Gideon Kiplangat, Morara Joshua Nyandika. Bachelor of Leadership and Management. Second class honors upper division, Gutu Lois Mugenda, Katela Leonard Wambua, Kimeiwa Brian Kipkemoi, Rebecca Gribon Magara. Second class honors lower division, Akasa Adil Lonox.
All the candidates for the conferment of the degree, please stand. I now call upon the Chancellor to confer the degree of Scott Christian University. Welcome, sir.
By the authority vested in me by the Charter and Statutes of Scott Christian University, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Scott Christian University in the following disciplines: Bachelor of Theology, Bachelor of Hospitality and Tourism Management, Bachelor of Arts in Community Development, Bachelor of Arts in Counseling Psychology, Bachelor of Education Arts, Bachelor of Business Information Technology, Bachelor of Information Communication Technology, Bachelor of Leadership and Management. With all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities, I give you powers to read and to do all that appertains to this degree. You may now turn your tassels from right to left. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You may take your seats. You are now graduates. Thank you. I now call upon the deans of schools to present the candidates for the award of the Diploma of Scott Christian University in the following order: Diploma in Theology, Diploma in Hospitality and Tourism Management, Diploma in Information Communication Technology, Diploma in Business Administration, Diploma in Agribusiness Management. Welcome, Dean.
Chancellor, sir, the following candidates have satisfied the School Board of Examiners and the Senate of Scott Christian University for the award of Diploma of Scott Christian University in the following disciplines: Diploma in Theology, Distinction, Jepchumba Faith Chalanga, Kilundo Daniel Kitonyi, Kimechwa Naomi Jelimo, Coril Benjamin Kiprotich, Milgo Beatrice Chepkoril, Mutua Paul Muteti, Mutua Zipora Duku, Dangili Jackson Mwanga, Duva Erastus Mudhiani, Geno Elfas Kiprotich, Siwa Eunice Jepkemboi, Yego Teresa Cherotich, Credit 1, Bitok Eliza Cherotich, Chelel Maria, David Ruth Mwikali, Ngambari Yawa Mwangandu, John Emmanuel Mambo, Kasanga Shandrak Zioka, Kibet Joab Kiblagat, Kimenye Faith Mwangeli, Kimutei Caroline Jepkemboy, Kimwele Titus Mwasia, Kipkemboy Nelson, Kipkoros Brian, Kirui Dorcas Cherop, Koros Esther Chelimo, Kurui Stanley Kiplagat, Lokori John Lokmachom, Mainge Joseph Mudhama, Malombe Phoebe Ngena, Malonza Daniel Mwau, Muleli Eric Moinde, Musa Dorothy Mweni, Mutua Geoffrey Mule, Mwaniki Benson Chenza, Deto Helen Munini, Zomo Meshak Chalo, Rono Lea Chepkemboi, Salash Alex Lekinshon. Credit to Wairimu Gideon Karunga. Diploma in Hospitality and Tourism Management. Distinction. Luca Rose Ndunge. Ngali Ruth Kivele. Credit to Niyomungeri Diodone.
Chancellor, sir, the following candidates have satisfied the School Board of Examiners and the Senate of Scott Christian University for the award of the Diploma of Scott Christian University in the following discipline. Diploma in Information Communication Technology. Distinction, Mweni Emily Miriam. Credit 1, Kaindi Enery Baraka. Kimende Moses Kiilu. Mutuku Martin Kilonzo. Credit 2, Muema Esperanza Mutano. Ngao Puritan Duku. Diploma in Business Administration. Credit 1, Maundu Alex Kioko. Naisuro Martin Purity. Dungu Joan Wairimu. Patina Faith Reason.